The second area of family engagement in the rubric is communication. As a team, have each individual read all 4 levels of the rubric. Each team member should identify, on their own, the level that best describes the current practices of the school. It is a good idea to have members think of examples and experiences that led them to their rating. By the end of the conversation, you will want to reach consensus on the level that best represents your school at this point in time. We recommend having numbered voting sticks or using another voting method. When there is not a consensus, have each person on the team give them justification as to why they selected the level they chose. Unless you have ample evidence that most practices at a given level are happening building-wide, we suggest selecting the lower level for this year. After each member has given their justification, it's a good idea to re-vote to try to reach consensus. Remember, the power is in the discussion, not the exact level chosen. What's important is that everyone feels they have been heard and that your team is focused on improvement over time. Now is a good time to pause this presentation to complete this process for determining the level that best represent your school's practices related to communication with families. Now you will have an opportunity to reflect on what this work looks like at the administrative level and at the classroom level. Here are some example practices administrators and educators should consider for better communicating with families. For administrators to consider, school staff at each grade level receive professional development on providing multiple means for two-way communication with families. A school team with multiple family representatives helps the school to review and improve upon current communication protocols and practices so that all families are reached. Establish written protocols for communication, home to school and school to home, for teachers and for the building. Teachers communicate to families using a variety of methods how they can support literacy at home in their everyday interactions with their child. For example, short family-friendly videos and materials. Teachers use a variety of means of listening to families, gathering feedback about their child's educational experience, and how they are experiencing learning at home. Teachers communicate regularly with families about their child's progress at school and at home in early literacy in ways that families can access. For example, notes, journals, surveys, emails, and text messages. Now is a good time to pause this recording and have team members add in their own ideas about practices they already engage in to communicate with families, or what new ideas they might want to try this year to improve communication with families. Here are some links to professional learning resources that may help your school to take steps to better communicate with families of the children enrolled in your school. We suggest setting a timer for 5 minutes and having each team member review 1 or 2 of the resources. Each team member should then share out about what the resources are and whether a resource is a good action to pursue this school year. Consider, is this a resource that the entire team should take the time to review in depth or test out? Think about if this resource is something the team should take the time now to check out. Pause the recording. In addition, you should pause this presentation and discuss what your priorities and action steps will be for the next few months and record them on page 9 of the rubric. Now that you have come up with a rating for communication with families and have explored some examples and resources for this key area, you are ready to put your next steps on paper. We have tried to feature some big ideas and highlights in this presentation, but there are many more examples and resources in the larger examples document. We have provided the link to the examples document on this slide. In addition, we know you might have your own local examples to discuss regarding improving building-wide practices for communicating with families. Pause the presentation now and take time to wrap up your review and discussion about existing examples and resources for communicating with families. Now you're ready to record your successes and opportunities for growth on page 9 of the rubric.